morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I want to thank each of you for being here, and gosh, almost all of you are candidates or candidate teams. So I know how hard you've been working and how hard it was to get out of bed this morning. I really do appreciate it. I just want to say, I'm gonna make my time pretty quick because I have more doors to knock on. We're going to get past this airport thing. We're going to resolve it. It needs to be resolved for the sake of this county. It's the most divisive issue that we have ever had. And so that is going to be done. It may happen in the courts. If I have my way, we'll do what was promised years ago, which is keep it as a general aviation airport. That would be my preference, but we will work with what the court does. And we will move past this issue because we have so much else to do that we can all agree on. We can agree on economic development. We can agree on making it easier for small businesses to get started in Paulding County. We can agree on developing our infrastructure and getting water and sewer to where it needs to be gotten to. So with that, I am just going to say thank you to the other candidates. We have had the cleanest race I've ever seen. As far as I know, it's still going to stay that way. It certainly is from my end. I have not heard a nasty word from any one of my opponents, and I appreciate that so much. You have no idea how much that means to my family and to this party. It's the right way to run a campaign. We should each run on our own merits. The other thing is I'm going to say thank you to so many of you who have helped on my team and so many that aren't here that have helped on my team. And I appreciate each one of them. I look forward to the next few days, and I look forward to getting to work for Paulding County, just like I did when I was chairman of this party. I loved it. I woke up every morning and I thought, what do I need to do for the party today? So I can't wait to wake up and say, what do I need to do for Paulding County today? So thank you for your time. You didn't think I was going to be done that quick, did you, Craig?
I was speaking to Rod.
Get up here.
I probably had more to say than you did. Okay. So instead of me putting in my steps, let's see. I'm just looking to see how many steps I have. So, can I see Roger?
He's not here.
He's not here. Well, he was number 2. So with that, then, Chris Freeman, you're here. So, Chris, come on up and take your 3 minutes and have a chance to speak for your commission place. Thank you for coming out today. Appreciate it.
Good morning. I'm Chris Freeman, running for Post 1 Commissioner. It's great to be with you guys this morning. Just a couple things, like Virginia said, yes, we're going to get past this issue. There's so many other things, especially when looking at going door to door and talking to people week in and week out that are, at this point, are kind of just, let's get past it so we can move forward. And either way, they're going on it. They don't really, most people don't really care that much about it anymore. They're just ready to move forward with business in Paulding. The great thing is I work day in and day out with families, with teenagers in our county. And the thing I keep hearing from teenagers is, oh, I'm ready to graduate high school so I can move out of the county. So I can go to school somewhere else so I can get away from the county. And some of that, is because they're having difficulty finding jobs as they graduate college that pay well enough within our county to stay here. I've been going through that struggle personally over the last few months. My wife found out that the bank she works for is being sold. And she's at a bank in Cobb County over in Smyrna. And one of the things she's been looking for is something a little closer to home to try to cut down on that hour commute both ways to spend more time with our family and different things like that. But the issue has been she hasn't been able to find anything that pays well enough within our county to not look elsewhere. And with Marietta being some of the closest to where she's able to find something. So one of the things I want us to do as a county, no matter how next Tuesday ends up, is to focus on the future. Let's not delve in the past and what's happened so far, but let's look forward to what Paulding County can be 10, 15, 20 years from now when our population's grown by 100,000 people. We have to have something in order to cultivate self-sufficiency within our county and businesses in order to bring in other tax revenue streams. I mean, we're looking at personal property taxes as our biggest tax revenue stream, and for every dollar of personal property taxes a household pays, You know, it costs about $1.50 to provide services to that house for the county. So it's costing us a 50 cents extra on every dollar we receive in personal property tax revenue in order to provide services there. Meaning we have to reach out to other businesses and other companies and industries in order to reach out and to build upon the tax revenue we have. My apologies that I have to leave as soon as I'm done. I'm actually going to Atlanta today to preside over a funeral for a friend of mine. His mother passed away, but I just pray that over the next few days, just be in prayer for our county going forward more than anything. No matter who's in office, that we will make the strides needed for the future. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Ms. Paulette. And Mom, Ms. Paulette's walking to the front of the room. I'm going to pull out sign-in sheets. I have sign-in sheets. If people go ahead and sign in today, I apologize for not having them out as I was running around. Thank you.
So, good morning, everyone. I'm going to accelerate our schedule. I'm Paulette Rakestraw. I'm the state representative for District 19. I would appreciate your vote on Tuesday, and if you haven't already voted. And I was just given the 100% rating by Americans for Prosperity again. And I, vote to uphold conservative values and protect your freedoms. I'm pro-life, pro-liberty, pro-Second Amendment, pro-jobs, and there's one more on my pro list. Anyway, it's not coming to me. But anyway, I appreciate your vote, and I'll give it over to the next person so y'all can get out here and run your campaigns. Thank you.
You really accelerated this game. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Mickey Tuck. Thank you for joining us. Coming out. Thank you. By the way, nobody gets to take the extra time. I better threw that in there. I didn't realize everybody.
As y'all notice, he said that right before I came up. I like extra time. As Virginia said earlier, everybody here has pretty much seen me before, listened to me before. Thank you all for being here. I want to echo on what Craig said earlier on Force today. Thank you for our veterans and for your service to our country, and hopefully we can move some legislation in the coming months or next year to help y'all out and get y'all back on track for the benefits that you so deserve. And since y'all know who I am, where I stand on the issues, and where me and the other candidates for this race stand on the issues and where we differ, I'd like to just take a minute to reminisce. This is going to be my last time in Paulding County before the election. I've become great friends with many of y'all. I remember the first time I asked about coming down here, I talked to Leanne. She said, "You can come down here, but you can't take over the meeting." And, I guess you saw some of my Facebook posts, and maybe a little radical, and we've become great friends. And then Craig invited me down to speak, and it's just been a real joy coming to Paulding County and talking to everyone. And I really appreciate your friendship. And no matter what happens on Tuesday, we'll continue to be friends, and I'm going to continue to come around and visit because we've become some real great friends. And for those that might be new today that I haven't seen you, I think it'll be just a couple. I'm pro-life. I've been endorsed by Georgia Right to Life. I'm the only candidate on the ballot for Congress that has been endorsed by Georgia Right to Life. I'm pro-Second Amendment. I'm fiscal conservative. Constitutional conservative, and we're not going to change Washington D.C. if we don't change the people that's up there. If we expect the people that's up there that's got us into these problems to get us out of it, it's just not going to happen. So I ask for your vote if you haven't already voted early. Come next Tuesday, and I tell you what, Paulding County, y'all are just awesome people. I was really surprised since I still got a few more minutes. When I first came to Paulding County, I said they're probably going to be moderates because they're so close to Atlanta. And I got here, and man, I was just really surprised. Y'all are just super conservatives, and just really, I'll be honest, I was shocked. And because y'all are such super conservatives and love the Constitution and love the country, and man, y'all really work hard as a party. Probably the hardest working party that I know. It was evident in the 14th congressional district how hard y'all work. So, man, I got 30 seconds left, and like I said, y'all know me, y'all know where I stand on issues. You can go to www.tuckforcongress.com, or you can go to my Facebook page, Mickey Tuck 2016, if you don't know about me yet. And I'm pretty vocal, and I don't mind speaking my mind, stand up on issues. But thank you, Paulding County. I love you. This has been a great journey, a great ride, and no matter what happens, I won't regret not a day of this. I mean, it's been over a year now, and it's just been awesome. Thank y'all very much for treating me and my wife like family, and I hope to be your next congressman. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Okay. Ms. Kirsten Liberty.
It's Kirsten. Still Kirsten.
What?
It's still Kirsten.
I want to say Kirsten.
Everybody else is. That's all right.
That's what parents do, you know. I mean, I know about your parents. You know, we don't call our kids by their name. We just say, don't lie to us. You live here, we'll figure it out.
So I'm Kirsten Liberty, and I'm running for a District 17 state representative. I wanted to talk to you for more than 3 minutes, but I'll behave because Hannah has signs that are very scary, so I want to behave. I do want to talk to you a little bit about campaigns. You know, a campaign is a reflection of the candidate themselves. And it is very important that people understand that you, as a candidate, the candidates each have control over what comes out of their campaign. And I'm going to stand here and I'm going to tell you that I myself have run an exceptionally clean, very carefully orchestrated, volunteer campaign. We have not sent out any lies, any mailers that had lies on them, have not done any smear commercials. We have not done anything that would demean myself or anybody in my campaign. So I want you guys to think, when you're looking over the candidates in this whole pool of candidates, and we have some good ones, guys. We have some really good ones. Remember that a campaign is a reflection of the candidate themselves. Okay? It is very important, Paulding County, that you guys get some good people in here, because quite frankly, not every county in the state of Georgia has as good of candidates as we do right here. So when you're looking around at all the signs, and you're looking around at all of the propaganda that you see laid out here, and that you see laid out in the county, and that you get in your mailbox, think two things. Number one, is that candidate a good, clean, open, honest, and ethical candidate? And be proud that you're from a county who is smart enough to know the difference between a good, clean, ethical candidate and one that is not. Give yourselves a round of applause for voting on Tuesday. That's important. And I would ask for your vote on May 24th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Guys, bring your friends, bring your neighbors, talk them into voting. How many have, just out of curiosity, real quick, Craig, how many have early voted? Were the lines horrible? The lines were not horrible.
You don't need your time now?
The lines in Paulding County were not horrible. They've given us an opportunity to have 3 weeks of early voting. There is no reason why we should have had, and by the way, the numbers are, at 2 o'clock yesterday, there were 3,800 people that have voted.
Thank you.
There were 547, I think, absentee ballots that have been turned in. That's very low turnout. We have a really big population in Paulding County. There should have been a tremendous number. So I'm kind of sad about the early voting numbers, but that just means we're going to work hard on Tuesday to get everybody out there. So you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on my website, or you can call me, and all of you got a flyer in your chair. So vote on May 24th. Thank you, Paulding.
Mr. Steve Dutton, please. Steve was here bright and early.
Try to be the first one in and the last one out. That's what my dad always taught me. So, well, guys, I'm Steve Dutton. I'm running for School Board District 1. I just want to say this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. And, you know, doing something like this, of course, is a little intimidating. I know some of you guys, some of you veterans in here are probably like, rolling your eyes, but this has definitely been an eye-opening experience. I've had a lot of fun with it. I can tell you this, the Republican Party has been phenomenal to me. We've called, we've asked questions, felt bad about asking some questions, but everybody's been extremely helpful. So regardless of the issues that are going on, I just want to tell everybody, especially in this room and the whole Republican Party, thank you guys. Because you guys have made something that was very intimidating in front. You've made it wonderful to go through. So it's something that I've always thought about doing, but now that I'm here and I'm in the race, it's been phenomenal. So just real quick, why I'm running, because a lot of people want to know. You know, I've thought about a lot of different things. I've always tried to be active in the political views out here, but I've always been one of those guys that just kind of step back. But my passion's always been for kids. And when we look at our school system, I think we've done a phenomenal job up to this point. But I always am one of those guys that asks the question, how much better could it be? So because I'm competitive in that nature of it, I wanted to make sure that I put myself out there and to make it the best it could be. 3 topics that I've settled on, or I've looked at, and I've confirmed with all the county, knocking on doors and talking with several folks. Number 1, safety and security for our schools. We have to secure our schools, whether it be making sure that no more bullying. How many times we see that on Facebook, right? We've got to put a stop to that somehow, some way. Number 2, with drugs. And number 3, I don't know how many times you guys have gone on campus around here, but sometimes you can walk right on school walk, all around the school walk, back off, and no one asks you a question. So we have to secure those. Number 2, we've got to keep the top talents we have, and we got to attract others. And that's not monetary. It's not always monetary. I mean, it's easy for somebody to come up here and say, we're going to raise your salaries. Yeah, you know, that's something that we would like to do. But what about just recognition? How many times have teachers gone through and there's one big prize, but all those other things, thank you for the 30 seconds, I got you. All those other things that we need to make sure that we recognize them for. And the last topic, since I've got 30 seconds left, is that no one in this county has told me any reason why we can't be the number 1 in this entire state. So I want you to think about that. Please, if you haven't early voted, the 2 of you in the room, I would appreciate your vote on Tuesday, and you guys have an awesome day. Thank you.
That was why I paused the last time, just because all the hands of everybody that early voted and everything, and I kind of thought that going into today that there would be a lot of that. But the thing is that and I say this all the time, the respect that each candidate deserves to have an opportunity to speak to us here. It's a friendly environment. Doesn't always feel that way, I guess, but the point being is that I enjoy, and I early voted, and I took my middle daughter for the first time to early vote with us, and she was kicking and screaming the whole way, and afterwards she got in the car and she goes, that wasn't so bad. Really? Get your ass up. Anyways, next on the list, Miss Kim Cobb.
Thank y'all. Most of you guys know me as well. I'm Kim Cobb, and what brought me to serving on the school board was actually not being a parent, but it was driving a school bus and seeing the needs out there. We do have a lot of needs, and it's concerning that when we have 9/11, our country comes together. When we have the tornado that hit the airport, Poole Elementary, our county comes together. And we need to stay together. We don't need events like that to bring us together. So, as Steve mentioned, we can't always give more money to our teachers, but we can support them as parents, and even if you don't have kids in the school system. I mean, sometimes you just need to hear you're doing a good job. I've been to quite a few school events this week, and the teachers come up to me because they know they can ask me questions, and they're like, you know, Kim, I've put in for this job 10 times. Why don't I even get an interview? These are teachers who've been with us for 10 years. And we are losing many of them to Cobb County. And it's not because Cobb County pays them more. It's because they are trying to do their best here and can't seem to get anywhere. We need to know why that is. If you don't want somebody in your school, a principal doesn't want somebody in their school that may do a great job because they might ask questions or have high expectations, That's not a reason that we don't want that teacher. I want those teachers. There's also, I had a teacher contact me and said she was actually talked to by an assistant principal because she didn't have a high enough passing ratio. She is scoring fairly. She's not giving away grades. That's what I want our teachers to do. I don't want us to be passing children and graduating children who aren't ready to go into the workforce or further their education. Those are some of the issues we have. And we need to stand behind those people and let them know we support them so that we don't lose them to other counties. As far as our children, our students, I mentioned to our school board attorney when I was talking to him about something else, I was like, we need to have these children, high expectations. He said, well, Kim, you can only do so much. The parents are the problem. Their child's never the problem. And all the rules are good until it's their child, and then they don't want those rules. Well, we need to start young, and we need to have expectations. And when you come in your classroom, things may be hard at home, but in here, we're going to treat each other with respect. If the teacher treats the children with respect, they will treat her with respect and learn to treat others with respect. And I know that becomes more difficult when we have kids come in at higher ages or when we have high schoolers that we've let get completely out of hand. But we can gently reel that back in, and we can make this a community of responsible people who are ready for the workforce. And I would just ask that you would vote for me and let me continue to serve you and be accountable and available for your needs. Thank you.
Okay. I think, let's see here, Mr. Ron Davis.
Ron who?
All right, Simon.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Ron Davis. I'm your Post 1 Commissioner. I was elected in March, so I've been your Post 1 Commissioner for about 2.5 months. When I ran for the job in the special election, I said I was going to do some things. I said I was going to be a fiscal conservative. And in the 2.5 months that I've been there, I've had an opportunity to stand up for your tax dollars and keep them from going where they shouldn't be going. I said that I was big about transparency. Every vote I've cast so far and every vote I'll cast as your Post 1 Commissioner is online. It's at rondavispost1.com. Go there and see how I voted and why. You can sign up, get it by email. It'll just come to you. You don't even have to worry about going there. I'm a strong advocate for transparency. You guys who know me know that. I've had opportunity to, in discussions with other commissioners, insist that things be done, that we keep in the front of our mind that we do things in an open and transparent, and keep everything we can in front of the people. I'm fortunate to have a number of people on that board of commissioners who are supportive of that effort, and we've done that. I've also said that I want to change the way government's run here in the county. I've shown that when people need to be stood up to, they get stood up to, and I'm willing to do that. I'm not ready to back down from the fight. I've got a little bit of time left. I want to say just one thing. My opponent made a mention earlier that people, they don't care about that airport issue anymore, and respectfully, I'm going to have to disagree. People care about it because they don't like the fact that they've got something that was done in secret shoved down their throats. They don't like the corrupt government run away. They don't like it when people get elected and say, I know better than you, I know what's best for you, you do what I say. They don't like that. They care very much about that. And I care about that too. And so I'm going to ask for your vote. Those of you who are in this room who haven't voted, you see my daughter over here, we're trying out that Facebook Live feature this morning. So all of you guys watching on Facebook right now who haven't voted yet, I'm going to ask for you to, I'm going to ask for your support and your vote on Tuesday, May 24th. I'm enjoying the job. I'm loving serving this community. I want to ask for 4 years to do that and continue that work. Thank you.
Turn that off. So one of the things I want to mention before I forget, and you guys know I forget a lot because I'm aging faster than I look. Ashley McDonald, she actually, unfortunately, send prayers for her. She isn't able to attend today only because her grandfather passed, and she's also running for school board at large. But she had to go to North Carolina earlier in the week. She reached out to me. Teresa Lyons, she's running for re-election, and she's a hairdresser, and she's, I don't think it'd be cool if she didn't do somebody's hair for their wedding today. So she's not able to make it. And then Lindsay Everhart, she actually, her sister's graduating from law school. So, you know, family comes first at the end of the day. Everything we're doing here, family comes first. So it's God, family, everything else, and this will always be everything else. Here you go, Mr. Tom Gray. Congressman Tom Gray.
Well, I am excited to be with you this morning, and I was thinking about it on the way here. We have, all of us have a lot of different options, a lot of things we could be doing on a Saturday morning, and we all have family and things going on. My daughter has a soccer game this morning. When we were thinking about where I would be today, this is where I wanted to be, and I told our team that, and I told our family that. I said, I want to go to Paulding County, and here's why. Y'all have been amazing. You've been like a family to us. You've been so supportive. You've been very encouraging. But more than that, there is so much going on in this community. When I look at all the candidates and all that you represent and all the campaigns that have been going on and all the ideas that have been shared, there is so much love and concern and care for your community that this is inspiring. This is really powerful, and this is very motivating. And as we go through this cycle, as we get through May 24th, next Tuesday, it is so important that this community come back together. And this is the party that can bring this community back together. There are great candidates, and look, not everybody's going to win. We all know that. But we all have to come together for the betterment of our community. And with that, I want to recognize, the guy that's been running against me, Mickey Tuck, and his wife Sandy, who have worked really, really hard for over 12 months. I recognize that. And I know the value in that and what they've earned and what they've gained from that by getting around our district and meeting so many amazing people. And so I recognize that. I recognize Alan for his involvement in this race as well, because he cares for this district and for our state and for our country just as well. But this is all so important, and here's how I'll sort of sum it up. In just a little while, I'll be going to a funeral for somebody from our congressional district, a friend, supporter, an amazing man with an amazing history. His name is Dan Peace Wynn. You may know him as Judge Wynn. He has not only served as a father and a grandfather and a great husband, not only as a solicitor general, as a district attorney, as a superior court circuit judge, but he served in World War II. And he is one of the few that were one of the few survivors still remaining in our congressional district. And he passed away just a few days ago. He has an amazing story as a Marine aviator, one who was a fighter pilot defending our country back when so many of our family members from across our state and our district were having to leave their homes and to go and fight in battle. And when I think, and I've had many occasions to speak with Judge Wynn and hear about his legacy and his history, and he would be so proud of what's going on right here today, because it wasn't about who he was fighting against. It wasn't always about the foe. It was about what he was for. And he was for our country. He was for our communities, for our state. He was for us, and he's for what exactly we're doing here today. So I just want to thank you and let you know that you mean so much to me, to Julie, to our family, and so much to Judge Wynn, who has just passed away, but a great hero of our country who would be proud of what's going on here in Paulding County. So God bless you. Thank you.
That was great. I really appreciate hearing about veteran stories like that and everything. I mean, my father passed 8 years ago, and he was, a tank, Sherman tank person. Mr. Jeff Fuller, are you still here? Yes, you are. There you go. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
All right, I'm so thankful for the party and putting this on, and there's been so many events that we've been able to speak at, and I think we're getting down to the wire where we're all pretty tired. I think there's probably not a candidate in this room that's probably ready to go back home and go to bed for about a month. But, we've dug the holes, we've walked the neighborhoods, and we've got our message out, and I think at this point, most of us have our mind made up of what direction we're heading in. But the direction that matters most are the people that you've elected, or the people that you're going to elect, are they going to work for you? Are they out in your community? Are they speaking to the Republican Party? Are they speaking to certain organizations? I know that, in politics and selling cars, you don't talk about other brands, you don't talk about your opponents, and I'm not going to talk about mine. We've had a super clean race. But I will tell you that the incumbent in my race is nowhere to be found. And I think that's a problem. I mean, it's an honest problem. There's not anything I can say bad about the guy, he's just not here. You don't know where he stands. You don't know where he wants the direction of the school board to go. That's what I want to tell you. I mean, we need to elect people now that are going to make sure that our taxes stay low, that our teachers' pay goes up, and that our moral values stay where they're at. There's not one candidate that's running for school board that has made an issue out of what's coming, and that's the transgender bathroom issue. You can sweep it under the rug, you can wait, you don't have to talk about it, but you have to know where the people that you're going to elect are going to stand on the issue, that they're willing to say no, not in Paulding County. And that's where I'm going to stand. I won't spend one tax dollar to convert any school for any of that kind of stuff. You go to the bathroom where you're supposed to go to the bathroom. I know we want to ignore it. I know we don't want to talk about it, but if it's hitting up in Fannin County, it's going to come to Paulding County. You can bet your dollar that it's going to do that. And the deal with bringing jobs to Paulding County, let me add one thing to that. It's very, very important that we do that, not only for the tax revenue, but you also have football teams, you have soccer teams, you have basketball teams. Those businesses will support our kids in our touchdown clubs, in our other things, and that's very important. I think we're down to maybe the same 5 or 10 companies that are in all of our schools that are supporting these teams, and we need more people to do that. I know my kids are highly involved in youth sports, and that's a big thing to me. I've had several parents say, "Why don't we bring back middle school sports?" I think it's a great idea. It went away. We need to look into that. But I want to ask for your vote. I've had a lot of fun. I've met a lot of good people. There's a lot of great candidates running. I think there's not anybody bad that you can elect this year. And I look forward to working with whoever I'm able to work with. And I appreciate the vote if you haven't already voted. Thank you.
Okay, so, as I said, Lindsay would, she must have forgot about her sister graduating law school. She must want to need a lawyer. But anyway, so Miss Ramona Talley, please.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out.
Hi, my name is Ramona Talley. I'm running for School Board District 4. I have a very vested interest in our school system, have had and still remaining vested interest. I've had 3 students to graduate, or 3 of my children have graduated from Paulding County school system. They are doing great. They did great in their post-secondary work. So I really am really proud of what the school system has done so far. As I have said several times, I retired with this school system. I had 32 and a half years vested interest in our school system. And what I now retired, having time on my hands, I feel like I can get out there and really help promote the schools and talk to parents. I believe that all children can learn. It's the way that the teachers are trained to teach these students in the various methodologies. I believe that all school culture, if a school has a good culture, the students and teachers are going to do very well. I believe what Steve and Kim have said, we need to retain our good teachers. We are losing them. Being in the education system, I saw some very good, superior teachers leave our system. Why? Is because they are not recognized. During the 17 years I was in the classroom, I had 1 board member to come visit me in 17 years. I want to be visible with the board. I want to be out there so everyone can see and know that the board is interested in what they are doing. We just have to get together. The board has to be a working unit. There can be no animosity within the board. And right now, I think the board is doing a very good job, but I just want to be a part of it. I'm so excited about having the opportunity to run for this position. And again, I just hope that on May 24th, you go out there, you get your friends, you vote, and vote for Ramona Talley, District 4. Thank you.
David Carmichael.
Yes, sir. Good morning. I am Dave Carmichael. Last August, I spent a long time talking to my wife and spoke with my family, my pastor, and several close friends. and made the decision to run for chairman. By the way, my wife is taking care of 3 grandchildren this morning because their dad, Josh, and mom, Emily, are adopting a little black baby this morning. So I'm real excited to have another black baby of a different color. My only motivation for running then and now was to serve. I've had many opportunities of leadership throughout my career in the military and in the civilian world. And all I would like to do as one of the 80% that have left the county to work is to give back now to my county. I'm motivated, got plenty of energy and plenty of ideas, and I look forward to working with the Board of Commissioners that I think very highly of. The chairmanship position is not an easy position. It's very difficult. Now we have 155,000 people in Paulding County, $133 million budget. Needs lots of representation at the state level and sometimes at the national level. I've had that experience. I've represented my organization in the state for 4 different governors, standing in their office, face to face with governors. I've represented my military organizations before generals at headquarters Marine Corps, Washington, D.C. So I've had that experience. I've had the experience running a multi-million-dollar budget. There is a lot that's going to go on in Paulding County in the next 4 years. In the next 20 years, as I think Ron mentioned, we're supposed to grow to 250,000 people. And we need to be out in front of that growth. We need to be taking advantage of all the opportunities that we can to recruit and advance jobs into Paulding County so that we can spread the tax base and lower the property taxes on individual homeowners. So I'm motivated, I'm excited about the opportunity. As many of you have said, I could easily spend 10 minutes on other things that I'm passionate about. And I'm also concerned that there are a lot of misrepresentations that have taken place, but this isn't the time or the moment to talk about that. But I know you've already voted, but I just want to express to you my excitement and passion this morning to possibly be able to serve you. Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Alan Levine. Thank you for coming out this morning.
Thanks a lot. My name's Alan Levine. This is my sign. It represents my personality, which is black and white. I'm a practical businessman, and I find solutions to problems. I've been in the IT business. I've owned an IT business for about 30 years. My customers want solutions. They don't want rhetoric. They don't want noise. They want me to go in, fix the problems that I see, and then get out. That's my nature, which is why my signs look like that. No fluff. I'm your common sense candidate. Many years ago, I realized why there is a Republican Party, why 2 parties run the country, Republican Party and the Democratic parties. It's because when everything goes wrong, they can point the finger at the other side. And they can say, re-elect me, no matter whoever screwed it all up. The other side will say, they screwed it up, elect me, elect more Democrats or Republicans. That's the problem that we have. They're not in it to provide solutions, which is what I am. I did make some notes, which I have to look at because it has statistics. In my opinion, there are 3 reasons why America is an amazing country, and I'm a British American, born and educated in England, and I have a completely different perspective on this country. This country is amazing. I've been honored to be a citizen for about 40 years, and I cannot think of a nicer place to live. The people are fabulous, very supportive. 3 reasons that we have. One is why America is so strong. One is we have an amazing military. I have high respect for our troops, for our soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and airwomen, so on and so forth. They can easily win wars. The problem is the politicians cannot win the peace. That's what happens. That's really a tragedy. Second, we have manufacturing. We used to manufacture almost 1/2 of the globe's products. Our GDP was almost 1/2, it's now 20%. China in 1945 had a 4% share of the GDP, and their share now is 20%. They're growing very rapidly. We have to bring manufacturing back, and I have practical solutions to reinforce our manufacturing. The third reason is that the US dollar is a reserve currency. Everything is paid for internationally in US dollars. If we lose that ability to have the US dollar being the reserve currency, we're going to have a major failure in this country. 75% of our GDP today is by people buying and selling to each other. It's not manufacturing, and what they're selling, buying is made in China. This has to change. Anyway, this lady at the front has told me to stop, so please vote for me on Tuesday if you haven't already voted, and great, thanks a lot. Tell your friends.
Alan, I want to tell you something. So the GDP comment that you've shared with us through the weeks of this campaign, I travel to New York. No, I travel to New York a lot. No, I trust you. I trust everybody. I travel to New York a lot, and you can see on here, socialism, that's from Syracuse University. That's a handbill on the campus of Syracuse University when I was there. At the Manhattan Sheraton Times Square, I see Anthony Weiner and his wife in there, and I have a picture of his wife on there. It's so hard not to vomit in my mouth. But anyways, this is the kind of stuff, when I travel and I go to dinner with a lot of people, I interject a lot of politics. And I always say it's not whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. It's about what do you want this country to be? How do you want to be? And those types of things. And when I share these things, it's amazing to see the light bulbs come on in people's eyes. And Sharon's shaking her head because she came out here and you share your story with us all the time. But that's another reason why I know we say we've all voted and everything. Thank you.
Okay, let me say one last thing.
Nope, you don't get a rebuttal. My floor. My mic. Anyway. No, but the point being is that's why we still do this and everything, because even for those of us that have already voted, we have to go out and talk and talk and talk and keep talking. And I don't really think I have a great life. I either talk about work, my wife and children, or politics, because at the end of the day, my life is better if we can change. Oh God, it's repulsive. I mean, look at the picture there, man. All you gotta do is look at her. She's repulsive. And the word socialism, think about it, a handbill. I'm gonna have 3 kids in college next year. That's like walking around with Satan. Anyways, I'll let it go. Thank you, Alan. Mr. William Pike, Judge. Thank you very much for coming out.
If you don't mind, if I'm not loud enough, I'll pick that back up, but used to talking in a big room. I'm Bill Pike, candidate for Superior Court Judge. Unlike a lot of y'all who have talked already, we can't talk about our positions on issues because these different issues could come in front of us, and ethically it's barred. What I can talk to you about is a little bit about me and who'd be on the bench if I'm elected. First of all, I'm a graduate of the University of Georgia Business School and Georgia State College of Law. My wife and I, Diane, who's taking a picture of me right now, hopefully you got my good side, and our 17-year-old daughter moved here, frankly, to come to a better county, a better place. Back in 2003, we live off of Dathbridge Road, and my daughter, who wasn't even in school at the time, is now 17 and going to be a senior next year, and I don't know where the time passes. You mentioned that you talk about family and stuff a lot. Well, I think if you're talking about family a lot, you're a lucky man, so congratulations. As far as my background, I've represented people in civil, criminal, all types of matters for 26 years. There's not a type of law I haven't practiced. Currently Special Assistant Attorney General representing the Division of Child Support Services as one of my clients, and then in my private practice, I also represent people in civil litigation. Heavy emphasis on domestic right now, but I've done years and years of criminal practice in the background. I've done a little bit of everything in all the courts of this state, from the probate court up to the Supreme Court. But as far as the backdrop, I think it'd be probably a surprise to some of my family that I'm even here right now. When my grandmother, who works in the textile industry, my grandfather, who's a commercial fisherman, my other grandfather, who's a tool and die maker, probably didn't expect this. Or maybe they did, because my parents didn't graduate college right out of school. They went to night school. I remember being 6 years old and my father sitting there doing homework when he was going to school at night to get his college degree. My mother didn't graduate high school until I was in middle school. But she went on and got her college degree and is still at 73 years old, the controller for the company she works with. So maybe they did expect it. Maybe it was expected all along. But what really matters, I think, with Judge is who's going to be on that bench making the decisions. Every one of you could be, thank you, could be in front of the court. Every one of you could have a relative in front of the court. And the question is who's making the decisions and what's their background? Do they have a perspective? Because everybody that comes in front of the court has a story. And yes, it's my job as judge to make sure the law that you good legislatures passed is enforced. But sometimes there's some discretion. And do you take the backdrop of the story of where these people came from and pass laws that make sense, keep our community safe, and make the best decision in that case? Thank you very much.
Already spoke to David Lyles. So unfortunately, Senator Dugan has to step out right at 10 a.m. because he has a family thing he needs to take care of as well. But he did ask me to just have 30 seconds of your time, and so I want to accommodate that before he leaves.
Well, I asked for 5. He gave me 30.
Seconds.
Oh, yeah. We got to move my mother-in-law into another community today, so I promised my wife I would leave here at 10. And all I want to say is I think I'm pretty good on this race, unopposed, so I like that position. So I wanted to use my 30 seconds up here to say thank y'all. Thank you for the support that I continually get from Paulding County. And one thing I would say is it's important for me to be here. If you only see me during election time when I have an opponent, that should speak volumes about the candidate.
That's right.
And if the only time I ever call you back or respond to your correspondence is when I have an opponent during election time, you got an issue. So I promised you from the onset I would not be that guy. And I hope that I'm living up to my word. And I think there's a lot of people around here that are doing this number that would help confirm that. So again, thank you for your support.
Okay, so David Lyles, running for Superior Court Judge. Thank you for allowing Mike to do that.
Absolutely. I didn't mind either. You want me to hold it? Good morning. My name is David Lyles. I say that mostly for the camera because I think everybody in this room knows me. I am running for Superior Court Judge here in Paulding County. I'm running on 3 things: my experience, my integrity, and my involvement in this community. And I'll take those in reverse order, starting with my involvement in this community. It speaks volumes, as Senator Dugan just said, that when I walk into this room, I know every single one of you. I don't need to walk around and introduce myself. I'm coming back to say hello to you because I am involved in this community. I'm raising a family in this community. As one of the candidates for school board said earlier, he mentioned his passion for working with the youth in this county. I have that as well. And my actions speak louder than words. I am on the board of directors for the Boys and Girls Club here, as well as the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I am involved in our school system. Within the last 2 weeks, I've spoken at North Paulding High School to classes, as well as Moses Middle School to classes. I'm out, I'm involved in this community, and when I go places and go to meetings like this, I walk into a room full of friends and people that I know. I am one of you, and I'm proud to be here in Paulding County working for you. As far as my integrity goes, I work as an assistant district attorney. I took an oath of office when I was sworn in that I would uphold the law and I would treat people fairly, that I would follow that law without fear or favor toward anyone. And I've spent the last 18 years of my career doing that. When you walk into a courtroom, I think the most important thing you're going to have on the bench is a judge who is impartial, who has integrity, and who has the knowledge of the law to apply to your case and the facts that you have. And that lends toward my experience. I've been a prosecutor for 18 years. I've worked both in the city of Atlanta as well as out here in Paulding County, and I understand the difference between the nature of the crime of those areas as well as the community and the issues those communities have. And I'll bring that experience to the bench. I also, because of my involvement in the city of Atlanta, bring the experience of having worked with a large volume of cases. One of the things that has come up repeatedly through this campaign is the idea that there may be a backlog of cases here in Paulding County. That backlog is going to change. It has been changing since I arrived here 10 years ago. I've been working as part of that system to reduce that backlog, and we are making strides in that. I have the experience to do that. Experience, integrity, and involvement in your community. My name is David Lyles. I'm running for Superior Court Judge. I ask for your vote on May the 24th. Thank you.
Mr. Francisco Hartley. Thank you. Nice sign.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'd like to thank you for inviting me up here to speak today. Since I've been running, there's three things that I've noticed about candidates. There's those that are passionate to serve. They want to serve you. There are those that believe it's their right. You should vote for them. You know, it's their passage. It's their turn. Then there are those that are using their seat as a stepping stone. This is the next, thing for me to go on my way. So, what kind of person is Francisco Hartley, who's running for state representative in District 66? Well, a little about me. I served my country for 25 years. I'm a veteran of Operation Desert Storm and a veteran of Iraqi freedom. I left my second career. I walked away from it to answer God's calling, and now I'm the pastor at New Hope United Methodist Church. And now I'm here today to ask you to serve you in the state capitol as your state rep for District 66. I kind of straddle the line between a servant leader and authentic leader. I have the passion to serve, and what you see in front of you today is the same way I am here at church and at home. Where does my experience come from? I'm probably the best well-rounded candidate there is out there. I have a lot of experience in the military. I've served at the higher echelons, Special Operations Command, Army Reserve Command, Forces Command. I have a lot of budget experience, millions of dollars every year having to do a budget. I have a boots-on-ground approach, and I learned this in Baghdad. When I sat at the Minister of Interior's office at the table with them, breaking bread, asking them what it is that they needed. Boots on ground. You have to go to the people and you have to talk with them. I have a master's in public administration, a master's of divinity. I'm writing my dissertation right now. Believe it or not, my dissertation is how can elected officials restore voter trust and confidence. That is my dissertation. I take that same approach, boots on ground in my community, in my church. I was a community cross-country coach at Chapel Hill High School. I've handed out Bibles on the corner. I've handed out sandwiches to the children. I've went to the homeless shelters and served meal. It's boots on ground. I've been serving in the Douglas County Executive Committee for the last couple of years. 36 marathons, 3 Ironmans, and I'm saving the best for last. I've been married to my lovely bride, Sean, for 27 years. We have 3 daughters, 7 grandchildren, 3 dogs, and a cat. I'm asking you to tell your friends about me because it's what you tell them about me is going to make them go to the polls and vote for me. I am Francisco Hartley. My website is franciscohartley.com. Thank you for your time today.
So I have on the list here, Lynn Albright is also running for school board. I don't have him on my list. He's a late ad. He received an error message in his email to me. Might have been my server.
I appreciate you taking the play on that one.
Yeah, I did not.
Probably won't need that. I have a big enough mouth, my wife says, so y'all can probably hear me. Rocky, where'd you go? You're the only one that hasn't voted, right?
I think I'm the only one.
Oh, no, there's two, okay, all right. Oh, we got three, okay, so you three specifically I'm gonna talk to.
Okay.
All right. You know, we've heard quite a bit this morning about Paulding County and how wonderful Paulding County is, and it is. Paulding County is a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. My wife and I have been out here for 20 plus years. We've got 2 kids in the system and getting a great education. This being my first time running for office, it has been it's been eye-opening to say the least. I've had the opportunity to go around this county, meet a lot of wonderful people, a lot of very concerned citizens, a lot of people that have great passions for their children and for these schools. Well, one of the things that keeps reoccurring, one of the themes that keeps coming up again and again as I go around and talk to people at different events is how we're going to reach these kids in the school system. And the reason I wanted to talk about that in my short time this morning is we've heard lots of good ideas and lots of things about how Paulding County needs to move forward and how Paulding County needs to be prepared and prepare itself to move forward, not only in the county, not only countywide with the commission, but also with the school board and with the school system. I think the majority of us here in this room came up in a school environment where technology wasn't so much an issue, but today it's all about technology. My children come home. My children take their cell phones to school because when they're in the classroom, they're using their cell phones. The teacher's safe. You got a cell phone. Pull out your cell phone. Pull up this website. Pull up, pull up this page. Read this information. Research this information. Google it. Bing it. Do whatever you're going to do. It's all about the technology now and moving forward. Okay. And I want to bring up this issue specifically, not because it's the only issue, not that I only have the one issue, but to just give a specific example of some of the things moving forward that we need to be looking at on the school board and looking to grow this county and prepare the school system to service these children and service them properly and get them the greatest education that we possibly can. We've got to look forward. We've got to look to the future, and part of that future is going to have to be increasing the technology into the school system, getting some more dollars into the classrooms that are going to cover that kind of growth. Because to reach, oh, did I miss the 30-second sign? I'm sorry. Thank y'all very much. My name is Glenn Albright. I'm running for the 4th District School seat. Thank y'all very much for coming out this morning.
So Roger was able to join us, so I want to give Roger an opportunity to speak to everybody that one last time and stuff, and then I think we're we're through in terms of the campaigns that are in a contested primary, and then we'll have some humbling words from Mike DeGrowler.
Thank you. I got caught in a group of gentlemen that have a little breakfast club in there, and I thought it was just going to be a little drop-in. There's no such thing as drop-in when you got breakfast going on, so that's the reason I'm late. The reason I'm running for this position is I'm a certified Georgia County Commissioner with the 7 years that I spent as a Post 2 Commissioner. I'm qualified for the simple fact that I'm familiar with the processes that go on with the county. Most of the employees that we have in place, especially the department heads, are people that I helped hire. I can work with them well. We've got so many issues. Our roads are, this county is being trashed by garbage. And I know that you see it. Living room seats, bedroom seats, you name it. One of the things I want to look into, I want to do similar to what Carroll County has. They have what they call convenience centers, where we can set one in remote areas of the county and be able to have a place for these people to bring their stuff. It's not working having to go all the way to New Hope. So that's one of the things I want to look at. Our roads. We need to improve our road system. We need to get the roads, the sides of the road cut back where sunshine can hit that pavement. That's part of our problem. They're shaded so much during the winter, they freeze over and the asphalt breaks up, and then there goes your road. We've got a lot of improvement projects we can do there by putting guardrails in unsafe areas, by putting reflectors on the roads where older people like me that can't see these roads at night, because that's contributing to a lot of the accidents. We've got shoulders that there are large drop-offs on the shoulders. That's the reason these accidents happen. People are dropping off, yanking it back, hitting somebody head on in the other lane. These are things that we can do over a period of time, and we can help stop some of these problems. There's so many different issues that we have in the county that sometimes are simple fixes, sometimes they're not. We've got water lines where their wells are running dry, and sometimes it's just a simple fix of connecting this line and this line with a line through the center, and they're able to have water. We've got a lot of folks that are living on bottled water. I've got a lot of ideas of how we can improve Paulding County, and I want to bring our government together. I think it's very important that we work together, that we face these issues head on, and I'm Roger Leggett. I appreciate your vote. Thank you for everything.
Okay. Did I miss any candidates? No. All right. You know, we kind of had a little laugh about the number of people who hadn't voted, and I said this again, but you know, we're videoing here, and regardless of the title of the website, what I want to say is that, you know, if Stop Paulding County Airport expansion, if people are on there today that haven't voted yet, and that this forum helps them to make a decision because they haven't had a chance to get the information or join us at our debate venue in April and everything like that, then that works. Our own pages and everything. So, and it'll be posted there as well. But I just, you know, we kind of make light of it because, you know, we know this. Everywhere we go, we see the same people over and over and over again. And this is 3 weeks in a row. I was at Polk County the first weekend of the month. I was at Haralson County last month at their party. And by the way, with all the school board candidates in here, Polk County is really proud of their school system. They think they're like third in the state or whatever the case may be. So, you know, I like hearing that we want Paulding to be better. I just read some stats where, you know, our graduation rate has gone up a little bit more and everything like that. You know, I don't have all the right answers. I've had 3 daughters come through the system, and 2 I'm kind of pleased with, 1 not so much, but anyways, we'll work that out. That might be more of a home issue. Anyways, with that, so if we've been through every candidate, I do want to give Representative Gravely an opportunity to speak to you guys, all kidding aside, because he stands up for us every day. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Craig, and thank you, all of you, for being here this morning, especially a couple of days before the election. I want to say this. 18 years ago, I first visited this party as a young field staffer on Congressman Bob Barr's campaign. About 8 years later, I had the great honor and privilege of serving as the first vice chairman of this party under Chairman Rocky Swan, who my parents went to high school with. I say that. Wills High School.
You left off preaching and went to Medlin here, brother.
But I also want to say this. Y'all given me the great honor, and really it's a humbling experience for me to get up every day and to represent this community in the State House. And Steve, you said something about, you know, some of the veterans roll their eyes up here. There's not a time that I don't have butterflies in my stomach, and I'm nervous when I grab this microphone, because I take this job very seriously. I hope you'll look at my voting record. Last year, or this year, I was named one of the top 10 conservatives in the Georgia General Assembly. Yesterday was given a perfect score from AFP, 100%. I'm going to tell you why. That's not a popularity contest. It's because I know who I'm elected by, and that's you. I'm not elected out of Atlanta. not elected by leadership. I'm elected by all of you. And I go down there to represent your values, to represent your interest. And I'm very honored to do that every day. I pray God gives me wisdom and direction to be able to do that, to stand up. I'm not afraid to take on what some consider to be a controversial issue. I'm not afraid to vote my district, my conscience. Sometimes that means a no vote against leadership. But it's something that I'm proud to stand on because I come back to you all. And I have to report to you all. And you all are my family. You all are who sends me down there to fight the good fight on your behalf. For the school district candidates, I thank you for your passion. I've got 2 little girls at Dugan Elementary. I've got one at Paulding University who will be at Dugan in 2 years. So for the next 18, 20 years, I'm vested in this school system. And I'm very, very proud to be a part of the Paulding County school system. And one of the greatest honors you have is you get to vote. You get to, have I hit 30 seconds yet? Okay. You get to vote, represent your constituents.
Wait.
Hold on. You're taking 5 seconds. But here's one thing that it's one of the great honors of this job. I get to speak. I'm going to be the guest speaker of my first graduation. And it's the elementary school graduation at Dugan Elementary. And to me, that's a great honor because my daughters will be in the crowd. So I appreciate everyone that's here today. God bless you and your families. Thank you for allowing me to represent this district, my home district. And God bless each one of you on election day as well. Thank you.
Just kidding. Hey, so somebody asked not to speak, but I do want to call them out and recognize them. And if you'd like to speak, we could probably give you some of Micah's time back. But Commissioner Vernon Collette is in the back of the room. He's been here the whole day, and he, I hope your health is doing well and everything like that. But you're always there for us and everything, and we appreciate everything you do as well. So I think I can check that off. Did I going once, going twice? Did I forget anybody? Have I missed anybody?
Can I go again?
No, just because you didn't see your 30-second warning.
Hey, I'm working hard now.
Okay.